Don't forget to check out and grab your copy of our two newly released books, Football: A Love Story and What Did Football Teach Me? These books feature over 100 stories from current and former coaches, players, executives, and entertainers from across the football landscape, describing what got them involved in the game, what they love about it, and what life lessons the game taught them. You can find your copy or order your copy from our website at footballgameplan.com/books. Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our preview of the 2016 Battle Frog Fiesta Bowl between the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the Ohio State Buckeyes. And let's start this video off by taking a look at my keys to victory. Starting with Notre Dame in this ball game, the biggest matchup everyone will be watching is between left tackle Ronnie Stanley and the defensive end Joey Bosa. This is an NFL-type matchup, two first-round type prospects going at each other in this Fiesta Bowl, and if Stanley can't win this battle, more often than not, then that offensive line and that offensive Notre Dame will struggle in this ball game. Now, they also defensively, I think, have to make the read for J.T. Barrett. We know they run the zone read or read option. Make the read, force him to give the football constantly. That way you take away that option of him getting outside on the perimeter with his legs. Make the read for him defensively, and you can have some success. I think overall Notre Dame also has to keep the mistakes at a minimum. Too often throughout ball games, we'll see the Fighting Irish have a brain fart or make a mistake here or there, a penalty or turnover. Those things can't happen versus a team that I think is still, quite honestly, one of the top 3 teams in the country. Moving over to Ohio State in this ball game, one other big matchup that I'm going to be keeping an eye on is with their talented cornerback Eli Apple versus the tremendous receiver in Will Fuller. Apple has to make sure he puts the clamps on Fuller and force DeShone Kizer to go to other targets consistently. I think the Buckeyes also have to win inside. This is more along the lines of the offensive line. If they can't control the interior of that Fighting Irish defense with Sheldon Day, they could struggle themselves offensively. And it's all about keeping your eyes on your luggage. I talked about DeShone Kizer earlier with Eli Apple and Will Fuller. Kizer is a guy that can extend plays with his legs. He can get out on a perimeter and make big plays deep downfield in the passing game. If you're not focused on your assignment, he can gas you with those big plays that could end up being touchdowns in this matchup. The biggest X factor in this ball game for Notre Dame, I think, will be the play of their 2 running backs. They have 2 tremendous game breakers in the backfield in C.J. Prosise and Josh Adams. Now, whether or not Prosise is 100% and ready to go in this ball game, you look at Josh Adams, another guy that has breakaway speed and has that big play capability. Both backs, I think, if they're in this ball game, makes this offense better as a whole. But even if Prosise doesn't play and you have to go with Adams full time, he's more than capable of getting the job done and thus creating a lot of problems for the Ohio State defense. The biggest X factor in this game for the Buckeyes will be how well J.T. Barrett can make plays on a consistent basis in the passing game. Notre Dame will come in and try to take away Ezekiel Elliott out of the equation and make Barrett beat them with his arm. And if he can't answer the call, then the Buckeyes can have a lot of problems in this ball game. Overall, I still like the Buckeyes to knock off Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl. I think when you look at this football team as a whole, top to bottom, offensively and defensively, too much talent on both sides of the ball, especially up front along the line of scrimmage. I think they'll win that battle in the trenches, which will ultimately lead them to winning the ball game.